Getting tired of all the rambling, all the baseless claims. It's not even baseless claims, it's wishful thinking. A good amount of college football fans, mostly Michigan, are predicting that Ohio State is going to go 8-4. They're saying this claim, well, this wishful thinking with their chest out, but I bet you they wouldn't put money on it. And also, yes, Ohio State, they lost all their good amount of their starters to the NFL, mostly defense. Yes, they lost their offensive coordinator, their Chip Kelly, their defensive coordinator, Jim Knowles. But let's not act like that Ohio State hasn't been there before. All right. Let's go back to that 2015 team who came off a national championship season. That team was loaded with NFL talent. And when it was all said and done, 12 Buckeyes got drafted. And this is just naming just the first rounders: Joey Bosa, Ezekiel Elliott, Eli Apple, Taylor Decker, Darren Lee. Lost 16 starters total, mostly defense. All right. Those first rounders that I just named were not easy replacements. I mean, look at what some of these players did in the pros. I mean, following season, though, have, Urban Meyer, stays the head coach. You have offensive coordinator Ed Warner. He was nothing special. He was trash. That offense had no imagination with just him calling the plays. I mean, look at the fall off when Tom Herman left, and look at just how they got absolutely dog walk against Clemson in the college football playoff. Then you had Tim Beck, co-offensive coordinator, QB coach. Only lasted a year or two. Same as Ed Warner, lasted a year or two. Yes, Luke Fickell was still the defensive coordinator. But look what happened. Even though they lost all the starters, they didn't have that good of offensive coordinator. Again, Ed Warner was trash. Let's look at this article real quick, just for proof. 1 year removed from losing 16 starters, having 12 players drafted, Ohio State is back in the college football playoff. They were back in the college football playoffs. Now, let's look at, pretty much dealing with the same thing currently. And the field goal, the goalpost keeps getting moved on Ryan Day. All right, but we're gonna get to that soon in a bit. So the 2024 Natty team lost 15 starters, mostly defense. I see a connection here. They lost their offensive coordinator, Chip Kelly, being replaced by Brian Hartline. Let me remind you that he's had a year to learn under a great offensive mind. And then they lost defensive coordinator Jim Knowles. Matt Patricia has a lot of NFL experience. I don't want to hear about how he sucked as a Lions head coach. Yes, I watched it. I'm a Lions fan. It was painful. But just because you're not, let me say it this way. Some people are not meant to be head coaches, but at the end of the day, good amount of the time, they end up being great coordinators. I mean, a lot of coordinators, defense coordinators, offensive coordinators have left for the schools or the pros to become head coaches. It didn't work out. So chances are they were better in the previous role. It worked out better. I'm not going to hold that against him. All right. But other than that, Patricia, yes, it may be the possibility that the game has left him behind, but what is going in his favor is he learned under the best, Bill Belichick. He's won multiple Super Bowls as the defensive coordinator of the New England Patriots. He has that experience, and I welcome it. All right, I'm going to give it a chance. All right. But here's the thing, even though they lost all these starters, just like the 2015 team, there's one thing that has kept it afloat, and that is recruiting. Under Urban Meyer, they didn't miss a beat, not only because Urban Meyer's a great coach, but because he always produced top 5 recruiting classes. The talent gap differential was huge. Ryan Day is doing the same thing. All right. Producing top 5 recruiting classes. That is and he's a great coach. I don't care what he says. He's a great coach. I trust his hires. He brought in Jim Knowles. He brought in Tim Walton. Look how great the secondary looks. He promoted Laurinaitis. Look how much recruiting has turned up at the linebacker position. I trust his promotion with Brian Hartline. Brian Hartline got a year under Chip Kelly, and more than likely he's ready. All right, but you guys just keep moving the goalposts on Ryan Day. First, it was let's see how he does without Urban's team and does with his own recruiting classes. Now that they won a national championship, we're moving it a little more. Now it's okay. The national championship team is gone. Let's see how he does. It's just like, okay, are you going to say his own players? He's already done that before. He's already shown what he can do with his own recruiting classes. He's already shown what he can do with his own players. Ohio State is not missing a beat. Why? The same reason under Meyer. Great coaching, great assistants, great coordinators, trust the hires, and recruiting classes. Top 5 every year. I don't want to hear about this 8-4 fall off. It's a bunch of nonsense. If you're going to say it with your chest out, I bet you $100 that doesn't happen. Other than that, keep disrespecting the Ohio State Buckeyes. Keep saying they're going to go 8-4. It's wishful thinking. It doesn't make sense. It's baseless claims. It's embarrassing. You don't have any proof to back it up. And you know what? It's more than likely mostly Michigan fans. They want us so bad to have a fall off just like them. But you know what? They blame coaching. They blame all those coaches leaving. Yes, that was part of it, but you're not really looking at those recruiting classes. And I predicted this. Some of those recruiting classes at the end with Jim Harbaugh were not that great. And he eventually caught up. And I believe there's a good chance that it catches up this year as well. But for the Ohio State Buckeyes, I'm not saying that they're going to win every game during the regular season. I have them losing 2 games. I have them losing to Texas the first game. The other game, it's a toss-up. It could be between Penn State, Michigan, and you know what? I'll even throw Illinois in there. Other than that, the talent gap differential is too much for these other teams. Go do your own research. Go look at the recruiting classes. Just do your own research before you make these claims. I've done my research. It's time to do yours. And based on what I saw, Ohio State is not missing a beat. It's going to be just like when all those 2015 starters left, Ohio State didn't miss a beat and made the 2016 playoffs. You know what? Ohio State isn't going to miss a beat after their 2024 natty, and they're going to make the 2025 playoffs. Bet.